Welcome back to Marketing Champions here in Daily Ad Brief. I'm Howard Walpuff, your host. Again, we're talking about marketing with marketing experts from around the country. And today we have two guests, Samir Elkamouny from Fetch and Funnel and Altimese Nichole from the Ezer Agency. And both of you, thank you for joining us and welcome to our conversation.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let's get started fairly quickly. I want to learn more about some of the things that you are doing for your clients. Samir, you work with lots of different creating content and funnels and really generating the type of leads that people are looking for in a very clear and consistent way. Tell me about the need for having a system to generate the leads that you are looking for and trying to speak to your audience.
Yeah, the big part of it is really making sure that you're speaking the right message to the right person, right? And depending on where they are in the funnel. That's really what you always need to be thinking about. So who's your ideal customer? What is their pains and fears, and what is your differentiation point so that they should sign up for your service or become a lead or purchase your product. And so it's really making sure that you're handling each one of those objections, like I said, depending sort of where they are in that funnel, whether it's online or offline. So really specializing in that to make sure that all the advertising is connecting with the funnel and optimized to produce the most results.
And that's really key. Figuring out who your audience is and targeting them the right way is always extremely important. Now, Altimese, you do a lot with social media and making sure that you are speaking to that audience in the way that they want to be spoken to. What type of platforms are you seeing the most success for your clients, and how are you best telling their stories?
Yes, absolutely. Some of the platforms that have been most impactful, believe it or not, it's Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn for B2B. The infinity for business to business advertising and marketing is far beyond all of the other platforms when you think about LinkedIn and why people are on the platform. And it's important to kind of keep in mind the purpose of your audience on each platform and then meet them there.
I think there's a lot of value to what you said. LinkedIn really is a very different platform, social media wise, than the others,
Yes.
but it really is a concentrated audience with the business statement. And Facebook, I really want to ask the question there is the Facebook community has changed, especially in the last couple of years, where the age is really risen up, and I think a lot of the people's focus has pulled away from it. How is it that Facebook is still a very successful place to utilize as a social media platform?
Yes, absolutely, through their advertising. So remember that through organic social media, you only reach about 1 to 5% of your audience. However, with the support of paid social media advertising, especially on the meta technology platforms, you can have the potential to reach over 2 billion monthly unique active users on the platform. And that within itself, especially when you know who your audience is and you can really drill down into that funnel that Samir was referring to, it could be extremely impactful when it comes to ROI.
Now, having the right messaging in that advertising to drive to the next steps, that really is the key to the whole funnel concept. And so, Samir, when you are generating that ad, how important is it to be really nailing that ad is really the key to all of this. How important is it to have the right copy, and how often are you finding that you have different options that again with testing you're finding that just that one word changes the whole entire result of the entire campaign?
I mean, the messaging and the creative are the two most important pieces. I mean, arguably, most of the accounts that we've scaled on Meta to hundreds of thousands of dollars a month these days are broad audiences and really not doing much targeting. You're really letting the algorithms do their thing, because if you think that you're smarter than the algorithms, you're usually just fooling yourself. But yeah, the creative is extremely important in that copy. But I'd say the most important thing really testing is the hook, right? So when you're talking about the messaging and what you're catering, it's really like what that hook is to grab somebody's attention in those first few seconds. Whether that is just on a simple static ad, whether that's the first few seconds of your video. And then that copy is usually what they're kind of reading after the ad copy itself.
Yes, that hook is very important because people's attention spans are really short. And if they're not going to grab it immediately, they're going to move on to something else. But with that short attention span, a really quick question for the both of you. We'll start with Samir. 2023, there's a lot of opportunity there. What really is the best way to reach an audience, are you finding right now?
It's definitely depends on the type of business. It's really important to make sure that you are paying close attention to who your target demographic is and where they are. I mean, all the top ones are still usually the best places, like Meta, Google, LinkedIn, even Snapchat and TikTok are great. And then beyond those, it's really like once you're starting to capitalize those and hitting ceilings, that's when you should start looking at other things like programmatic, maybe more display, connected TV, things like that. But most brands still have not necessarily even capitalized just on Meta, Google, and YouTube. So that's usually where they still have the opportunity to push.
And Altimese, what are your thoughts on this question as well? Where are you finding the best places for people to be found?
Yes, absolutely. I think Samir is spot on in terms of, it really depends on your brand and what you specialize in and where your audience resides primarily. But I will also say the brands that really excel in this, they really lean into active listening. They lean into community management. They cultivate community within their social media platforms, and they use that data to help them improve their process and their strategy campaigns.
Well, I love both those answers that really do sum up what's going on right now and show how much knowledge you have in the industry and what you're doing for your clients. So we thank you so much for joining us and for sharing all of this with us today.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Howard.
And thank you all for joining us as well. There is a lot to unpack from this conversation. There's a lot of opportunities out there, but key is you have to have that right support to help direct you in the right, proper location where your prospect is and how to best tell your story and at best get them to respond to then generate into where you want to lead them to after they've responded, they've seen your message and want to interact with you. So please, there's more information about both of these agencies here on Daily Ad Brief. So please check that out. But go out, have a great rest of today, and we'll see you next time on Marketing Champions.
Simplify presents Addressable CTV, combining the power of TV with the targeting and attribution of digital. Simplify's Addressable CTV delivers massive reach with the ability to scale without sacrificing precision. TV buyers can generate incremental reach with household-level targeting, frequency controls, reporting, and insights. To learn more about Simplify's Addressable CTV and what it can do for your clients, visit simply.fi.